Hey everyone, welcome to week 3. Semester's moving pretty fast as per usual. I always feel like we get through this first half so quickly. So this week we're going to cover the last of the new stuff for HTML. So congrats, after this week you'll have your first web language down. And then after that we're going to start moving into design and CSS. So really important that you make sure that you really understand HTML and you feel really good about it before we move on. After this week, week 4, we're going to spend the whole week just doing exercises, and there won't be a lot of new stuff, just making sure that you are ready for the test, which will come the week after that. Yeah, and then it'll be CSS and design going forward, and that's really when your pages start to look a little more fun. Right now, they're just kind of boring because they're all just black and white like that. But yeah, so I wanted to start this class by going over the homework. So I don't know if you noticed, but last week I didn't have a video for images. So I wanted to see if you guys could read the content and figure it out. And so now I'm going to make sure that I cover that. So if anyone is confused on that, we can make sure that's good to go. So we're going to start. We're in links and images practice. And we're going to start with exercise 3, where you actually are adding the image to your site. So if you struggle with this area, feel free to follow along and redo what you did or update what you did. So it says in your contact page. So we don't actually have a contact page, but I'm going to open up my week 2 folder. So I already have a folder in here where I already did this, so you can just ignore that for now. So I'm going to switch back in your contact page, add a paragraph. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is make a new file. So normally the first file that you make is going to be your index.html file. Don't name it week 2 or anything else. Don't have spaces in it, just index.html. So got this, I'm going to save it, index.html. So we're not actually going to even mess with that page because this is going in our contact page, but this should be the entry point into your website. I saw a few of the homeworks come in where they didn't have an index.html. That's not correct. It should definitely have this one, and that's kind of the entry point where you get to the rest of your pages. All right, so I'm going to actually make the contact.html. Okay, let's see what it wants. Add a paragraph with a short description about yourself. All right, so I got to set up the actual page first. So first thing, duct tape. Again, this says everything in here is going to be an HTML document. Next, we want to make our tag every damn time. We got our HTML. I'm going to put my lang.en in it so we know the color. And so everything between these two tags is going to be the actual HTML. So I need to make my head. Everything in the head is going to describe the web page. Just go ahead and make my body while I'm at it. You got an autocomplete. There we go. All right. So in here we normally want to have, so I'll do our meta char set. Oh, it's gonna autocomplete. That's nice. UTF-8. So in the later versions of HTML, you don't even need that backslash. I am just conditioned to always write it. So you need your title tag, week 2 images, and then it's good for, I think I talked about this a little bit, but so that Google search can find your page to have your meta author and your description, kind of some tags like that. So name equals author, and we got content. Do you guys get to watch how poorly I type live on the website about me? Okay, so this is a good minimum to have in your page. You don't necessarily need these if you don't care about search engine optimization, but definitely the title, definitely the character set, and then I think we're ready to start working on the body. Okay, so I think it said to get a paragraph and a paragraph with a short description about yourself. So I actually am just going to copy and paste the description I put on the course site about myself. So I'll make my paragraph tag, starting and ending tag, and then there I just pasted it in there. So this is the same content that was on that site. So you can see mine's wrapping like this. If you don't like that in Sublime, you can uncheck word wrap. Sometimes it's nice, like if you don't care about the end of this content, just to keep things clean, but I usually keep it on. Okay, so we got a paragraph. Let's see how that looks a while. So if you're on a Mac, I'm not sure about this on a PC, but you go to your file, right click, reveal in Finder. That'll pop up the folder and then you can just double click. All right, so we got paragraph. All right, switch back here. I just like having headings here. Oh, it's about E. Nice. Okay. So that one, done. Find a picture of yourself, download from social media, or use a celebrity picture. I don't have a celebrity doppelganger, unfortunately. I really want one, but I don't have one, so I'll just use the same picture from the site, which I already downloaded. So I just have to remember where it is. So I open my Finder. I have a folder here. This is the picture I want to use, so I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go into week 2, and I can just paste it in there. So now I have this. It's in the same folder as my contact and my index.html. All right, so I'm going to jump back to Sublime. Actually, place the image in your week 2 folder, done. Add an image tag to your contact.html page before the description paragraph. Be sure to include alt text. And the source should point to your image. Okay. So it said before the description, so here I'm just going to make an image tag, not image, spelled out, just img. And then I like to just put all the tags in to start and then fill them in later. Okay, so you can see on the left hand side here, here's my Svalbard image, which is this one from the site. And so now I have to think about where is this image in relation to my index.html file. So it's in the same directory. Same directory just is a dot, remember? Or you don't have to write anything like that. So dot Svalbard dot JPEG. Okay. And then for the alt tag, I'm just going to write Emily standing in Svalbard. Svalbard is an island, I guess, above Norway in the Arctic. Like 100 years ago in 2019, I went there, tried to see a polar bear. I didn't. It was sad, but got some cool pictures. Anyway, all right, so now I'm going to save that and I'm going to refresh it in the browser. Too many browsers. Cool. Okay, that's massive. So you don't need a picture that big. So we can put in a width. Maybe I want this to be only 600 pixels wide, so I can do that. Jump back here. That looks better. Cool. So if this picture hadn't been in the folder directly, say we have, I'm going to make a new folder called images. Maybe I want to store all my images in here, and I slide this. Come on. Can I not put that in there? I just do it in Finder. Say I put that in there. So now image is in the images folder. Now this is going to break, so I'm going to save, jump back to Firefox and refresh. Image is gone. Now you can see the alt text here. So you can see kind of the point of having that alt text is also if that image doesn't load, you'll still be able to see what it was supposed to be. Okay. So now, what do I have to do to fix this? So remember, all of these source attributes, like for images and for links, are where is the resource that I'm trying to get to in relation to where I currently am. So where I currently am is dot slash. So the images, if I look over here, this is where I currently am. This is where I'm trying to get to. So contact, I have to go into the images folder and get to Svalbard here. So I have to go into the images folder and then I can get to Svalbard. Okay, so I'm going to say, oops, GF. Refresh. Okay, now we're back. If I had like 10 directories in here, I'd have to do images, 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 like all the way in there. So, and if I was in this folder, say my index.h or my contact was in a contact folder and my images were like it is now, I would have to say, okay, I'm currently in the contact folder. I want to go back to the root folder, which is week 2. It's like the top level. And then to images, I'd have to go back a level and then into images. So dot dot means go back a level, but we're going to keep it like that. All right, let's see what's next for us. We got the alt tag, we got the source. Find a second image online that depicts an activity that you enjoy. Get the absolute link to this file. All right, so this obviously is relative. You're saying, what is the link to the image relative to where I currently am? So this next one is going to be an absolute image path. So I can do this the exact same. All right, now I gotta go find my image. I actually found one off of this website. This is the town that I stayed in Svalbard. So I just right click on it, copy image address. So I'm going to do that. If I open a new tab here and paste in that address that I copied, this should take you directly to that image. So if I hit enter, there. So if you can do that, then you know that link is going to work there. So I'm going to pop back here and put that into my source. And then for the alt tag, I'm going to say actually, Svalbard town from the ridge line. I don't know. That works. Jump back over to Firefox and refresh. There it is. It's a little big. So I'm going to add width equals. When I give you like these specific prompts in, that's way too small. In your exercises, don't be afraid to do other things too. Like I didn't need to put a header here, but I liked a header there. So start thinking about like what can I do to make these designs look nice. But yeah, okay, now I have an image that's appearing as a relative, and I have one that's appearing using an absolute link. So hopefully that makes sense. Did we finish everything out? Test in the browser. Yeah. So that is how you put images into your web page. And if we go back to the images section, here's where we covered heights and width. Images display inline as opposed to block. So if we're looking at here, you can see this didn't create its own line. So the difference between a block and an inline element is this one, an inline image will just display in line. A block element will go to the next line. So a paragraph is a block element, and the strong tag is an inline element as well. This is changing a lot of the time because um, resolutions are always getting so much better. It used to be the standard that it was 72, but this looks grainy on so many computers now. Transparency. Maybe I can show, I'll show a good example of that. Let me find a transparent image. Parent image, I don't know, stock photo. This is dangerous life searching stock photos. I hate all of these. Okay, wait. I'll take this one. Is this actually transparent though? What the? Okay, I'm not gonna use that one. I feel like I should speed up this part of the video, but I won't probably. Sorry. Well, the difference between a transparent image is that all of this is not considered part of the background of the image. And you can do that with PNGs. And you can tell the difference when you set a background color on an element, which we're going to learn to do in CSS. Actually, here, I think it loaded. Where is it at? Workspaces. Need to probably just downloaded something awful on my computer. Okay. So I'm going to add another image here. Actually, I'll just repurpose this one. And I'm going to point it to images slash, oh, that's a bad name for it. Transparent. Dot PNG. Okay. Save that. Okay, so now we got this falling guy here. So my JPEG, even though this doesn't look like it's part of the photo, like it's still a rectangle like that. So even if it was just, say this picture here, actually, this is a better example, it was just a JPEG. The ends of the photo would still go the whole way around that rectangle of the full photo. But a transparent image, you can, it's just the actual background of the image. I'm doing a shit job of explaining that, but let me just put something in here that'll help, hopefully. I'm going to write some CSS. Background, tomato. And refresh. Okay, so you see how the red on the left went the whole way around this image. It didn't dip in where there wasn't any image or anything like that, but this one, it is right up against the whole edge of this image. If this was saved as a JPEG, the color would go around a rectangle like that. So hopefully that makes sense. These can be fun, having transparent background images when you're doing certain graphics, just because you don't have that like ugly squareness, I can't say that word, square-nish to it. All right, I'm gonna stop this video. Yeah, hopefully that all made sense. If it doesn't, let me know. If you guys are stuck on anything in particular, just message me. We can even set up a time to Zoom, have a Zoom call or Teams video or whatever during the week, and we can just go over anything you guys are stuck on. So let me know.